Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Myself Manu from 7 SEM ISC Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Bengaluru. Today we are going to discuss the topic types of windows from the subject user interface design. Without any further delay, let's get started with the video. Types of windows. As we know, Windows is a very vital thing that is being used in the user interface design. And while coming to the windows, we have types in which we have which is distinguished into two types, where let's understand what's the type of window. The type of window used will depend on the nature and flow of the task. The Microsoft Windows windowing scheme has two basic windows: primary windows, secondary windows. And in under the secondary windows we have uh, dialog boxes, property sheets, property inspectors, message boxes, palette windows, and pop-up windows elements. One, the primary window. The primary window is the first one that appears on the screen when an activity or action is started. The property usage. The proper usage of primary window can be done when one should represent an independent function or application and use to present constantly used window components and controls. Menu bar items that are to be used frequently and are to be used by most or all primary and secondary windows. Controls used by dependent windows and to be used for presenting information that is continually adapted. For example, date and time. Used for providing context for dependent windows to be created. Do not divide an independent function into two or more primary windows. Present unrelated or present unrelated function in one primary window. As we can see, Microsoft Windows primary window, where we have a representation of floppy, which is a which detects whether the floppy, and cursor, pat down, and control panel. As we still can see a control panel which was introduced back in the days. While coming to the components of the primary windows, what is the primary window and what's its purpose? When we come to its purpose, we get to know that it is used to perform a major interaction. And what are its components? Its components are frame or a border, and it has a title bar. What is a title bar? It is nothing but an access point for commands that apply to the window with the command displayed in the pop-up menu. And we have a title bar icon in which we have a small version of that icon of the object being viewed, access point for commands that apply to the object being displayed in the window with commands displayed in the pop-up window. Title bar text. The title bar button to close, minimize, maximize, restore a window, and a menu bar and a status bar, scroll bar, and a size grid. Secondary window. In secondary windows are supplemental windows. Secondary windows may be dependent upon primary window or displayed independently of primary window. What is its proper usage? For performing subordinate, supplemental, or ancillary actions that are extended or more complex in nature and related to the objects in primary windows, that is used for presenting frequently or occasionally used window components. What are its important guidelines? They should typically not appear as an entry on the taskbar, and a secondary window should not be larger than 263 dialog units into 263 dialog units. Example, we have a secondary window of Microsoft where we have tabs of arrangement and a number of stops and option to save and clear to the default and so on. Components of secondary windows. In Before getting to its components, we should get to know what is its purpose. Its purpose is to obtain or display supplemental information related to objects in primary window. What are its components? Frame or border, just like primary window, title bar text, close button. What's this button? Context sensitive help about components displayed in window. This is optional. Context sensitive is optional. And what are its kinds? One is modal, and modeless. One is modal and modeless. Kinds of secondary windows. Under modal, we use when interaction with any other window must not be permitted, and what we use for is for presenting information. For example, messages, sometimes called message box, and receiving user input. For example, data or information, or directions, sometimes called question box. And we should use carefully because it constrains what the user can do. Modeless. We use when interaction with other windows must be permitted, and we use this when interaction with other windows must be repeated. Example of modal secondary window is a Walmart website where we have a pop-up where we have to enter, where we have to select whether we are a returning customer or a new customer. If you're a returning customer, it will just ask you to log in. If you're a new customer, you have to sign up by giving your contact things such as email or the number, and set a password and create an account. Example of modeless secondary windows. Google Mail. Use a modeless as default method for composing new email messages. Users can continue working with this window open, minimize, compose without losing it. And we have the units such as dialog boxes. Dialog boxes which are used for presenting brief messages which are used for requesting specific and transient action and used for performing actions that take short time to complete, are not frequently changed. Command and the command buttons to include OK, cancel, and others as necessary. And property sheets used for presenting the complete set of properties for an object. Categorize and group within property pages as necessary. Use tabbed property pages for grouping peer-related property sets. The recommended sizes for property sheets are 252 DLU into 218 DLUs high, 227 DLU wide and 215 DLUs height, 112 DLUs wide and 188 DLUs high, and command button to include OK, cancel, apply, reset, and others as necessary. For single property sheets, place the commands on the sheet, and for the tabbed property pages, place the commands outside the tabbed pages. Have property inspectors. In property inspectors, we use for displaying only the most common or frequently accessed object properties, and we make changes dynamically. We have chosen for the font under the Microsoft Windows Property Inspector to Times New Roman and and set the size to 10. And moving on to the message boxes. The use for the displaying a message about a particular situation or a condition. Command buttons to include OK, cancel, help, yes and no, stop, and other buttons to correct the action that caused the message for box to display. Enable the title bar close box only if the message includes a cancel button. And designate the most frequent or least destructive option as the default command button. We have a pop-up that says the selected disk drive is not in use. Check to make sure disk is inserted, and we have an option to retry and cancel. Palette windows, which we use to present a set of controls designed as resizable, and we alternatively design them as fixed in size. Pop-up windows. We use pop-up windows to display additional information when an abbreviated form of the information is the main presentation. Textual labels for geographical controls and context-sensitive help information. Thank you for staying with me all this time, and please make sure leave a like and share this video with your friends. Help me get more likes and views on this video, and this is completely for academic purpose. Please like and share. Thank you. Meet you in the next video.